My goal, since I came to the university, was to make sure students saw and operated equipment that was either the same equipment or equivalent to what they're going to see when they graduate.
Having a world-class studio not only gives us the opportunity to teach our students really well, it gives us the chance to recruit new students.
High Point University reached out to SES wanting to discuss doing video upgrades for their studio space. And it was pretty clear that the technology that was inside of the space was outdated, especially in an educational facility where teaching students on modern technology is a huge priority.
Our lighting was very, very poor. Some of our cameras were over 7 years old, I believe, and we were starting to see dropouts in the cameras. Little things like that that were just kind of unnerving us a little.
Over the course of 7 years, it started to suffer some repeated technical failures that weren't always fixed in the best manner. And we had a lot of issues with kind of jury-rigged gear.
A lot of our computer-run equipment crashed a lot. It took double the time to get things done most of the time.
I was having a very pleasant Christmas Eve with my family when all of a sudden I got an email from one of my faculty members telling me that there had been a leak in his office.
Immediately in my mind, alarm bells start going off of what sort of stuff has gotten damaged that we can't see.
I thought this was probably an isolated incident, but unfortunately 3 water pipes had burst in our building due to the unexpectedly cold weather.
Everything pretty much inside of both studio spaces had gotten soaked with water damage.
We had to very quickly find someone who could come in, work with us to redo the design, put together the equipment, and get it installed in a fairly short amount of time.
We had 4 classes that were scheduled to work with this production gear that fall.
One of the things that started to place SES apart was that they were supporting us before we even had the final contract.
SES took the time to go through every single step with us. They were knowledgeable, they were caring, they knew what to think about from an educational standpoint.
We want to make sure that this integration that we're doing, the system that we're designing, can handle our needs day one, but also be able to make space for what we would want to do, 5 years from now.
They did a lot of the work off-site, so it had less disruption for us in our facility. We weren't down.
It was the most stress-free, stressful situation I've ever been in.
This project took everyone working very closely together. I'm extremely proud of the end product that came out, the relationships that were built, and most importantly, I'm glad to be able to be a part of what is setting students up for success.
We did a soft opening just before our spring break.
I didn't know many students would come, but when we tore down the paper, it was filled with students waiting to come in.
They were very excited. They were in awe of everything that we had done.
From a visual standpoint, it looks really fun. The kids love the fact that it is a giant 25-foot by 10-foot video wall is right there in the middle.
And watching them walk around and hearing the oohs and the ahs made all the hard work and all the energy that went into this really worthwhile.
Many of them were saying things like, I just can't believe it. I never imagined that we were going to have a facility like this to work in.
We had alumni come back and surprise us, and they were amazed, but also sad because they didn't get to do this. But a couple of them were like, well, now I'm going to go to grad school, so I can take advantage of this opportunity as well.
The cameras are absolutely incredible. The switcher is still a little over my head, but I'm learning it. The lighting, I feel a little good with the lighting now. When you use it, it works.
They realized right away, this was not like your typical university facility.
And we've got a few situations recently where students who have graduated and gone on to local stations or different production houses get there, and it has exactly the same equipment. They know exactly how to use it.
Knowing our students will be 1, 2, and 3 steps above and beyond where students coming from other universities are gives them that advantage to getting the first job, but perhaps more importantly, getting the second and third job. As a dean, from an enrollment and recruiting perspective, having a studio like this gives me the added advantage because we're literally offering them something they can't get somewhere else.